I don't always know when we go live. Sometimes it takes a second, but it's good. Everyone can jump on and see us anyway.
I think we're live.
Hello. Yay, we made it. All right, beautiful. Well, hi. Good morning, Yvonne. We're live. We made it. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. We're live with Yvonne Brown with LCH Travel Designs. Why am I suddenly like stuttering? That's not okay.
We need more coffee.
Yeah. Okay. So we were having a nice little chat before we hopped on, and I was letting you know that I have this bunny to my left because I wanted to have a different background today. It's such a gorgeous day. It's beautiful. It's sunny. It's April 1st. It's like, let's change it up, right? But I'm really, really happy to have you with me today. And I want to talk a little bit about you and your business and what's going on. So your company is LCA Travel Designs. What do you do?
Well, thanks for having me, Brandee. I'm super excited to be here to chat with you and hopefully share a little bit of knowledge with everyone who's tuning in. I am a professional travel and event specialist. My background is in the corporate world for the last 20 years, really focused on group travel logistics and different types of events, everything from retreats and conventions and conferences to small individual meetings, as well as education-driven workshops. So I've done a little bit of everything in that field. And in the last year and a half, I actually launched my own travel agency, which is LCA Travel Designs. So I absolutely love travel. It's my passion, but it's also my background. And so you can imagine that this time that we're in has kind of rocked my world just a little bit, as I'm sure it's rocked us all.
Right. So what are you doing right now? What are some of the things that are happening that you're noticing? Obviously, with travel, I mean, is it just completely? Is there anybody traveling right now?
Well, there really is not. Travel's been restricted in a lot of places. Things are very uncertain. Especially with 80% of Americans being asked to stay at home, now really is not the time to travel unless you absolutely have to. And if you do have to, the best recommendation that I can give for you is to travel with your own, of course, hand sanitizer, your own sanitizing wipes or some sort of sanitizing cleaner, so that if you happen to have to go on an airplane, according to the CDC, the trouble is not really the air that you're breathing in the cabin, it's the surfaces that you're touching. So it's the same as anywhere that we're going. We're very mindful of the surfaces. So it's the same if you have to travel right now. Just be mindful of that.
So I'm noticing that a lot of times, I'm sure everyone else is seeing these insane deals coming across our news feeds for all these. I mean, is coming up into summer, once all this kind of clears up and we're able to be free and travel again, is this going to be a really good opportunity to get really low rates, or are these deals going to stay in place? Or can you book them now and then schedule it for later?
That's a really great question. And that's one of the things that I've kind of had to reposition in my own mind is when all of this first started, my first instinct was to say my life has been canceled. But in reality, our lives are not canceled. We're postponing or we're changing how we're doing things. So one of the things that I really wanted to share with everyone today are the very cool ways that the travel industry is partnering with consumers to make sure that you don't have to cancel your travel plans. You can just postpone, which I think is amazing. One of the things that I absolutely love is that most airlines, prior to COVID-19, what you booked was what you booked. Unless you bought a refundable ticket, you were kind of stuck and you were going to be responsible for exorbitant change fees. All of the airlines have waived their change fees. So if you have travel coming up and either restrictions are in place or you're not comfortable making that trip, you can rest assured knowing that you can postpone that trip without taking a real hit, which I absolutely love. Now, the airline regulations are going to vary from carrier to carrier. So if you have questions, this is again where you would want to reach out to a travel professional. One of the things that I feel very strongly about right now in this day and age is that if you have a gift, now's the time to offer it. So regardless of where you might have booked your travel, I am making myself available for questions regarding making changes, postponing your travel trips, or looking at alternate destinations, because those are options as well. And then Brandee, to your point, there are some really fantastic deals out there. For example, most of the events, conferences, conventions, music festivals are all being postponed and rescheduled for the fall or for early 2021. So now is an excellent time for you to go ahead and book those travel plans, whether it's a flight or a hotel, in order to be able to accommodate that rescheduled event. And you can do that usually with a lot of confidence. The first thing that I would recommend is that any travel bookings that you're doing that are new, not existing, I would go directly to the supplier. I would typically, I'm a huge fan of Expedia and other third-party sources for travel booking, because I believe that they have a great deal of clout, and that's how they're able to offer some deep discounts to the consumer who prefers to book their own travel. However, in this time, Expedia is actually a third party, so you don't have quite the negotiating power, and travel providers are less likely to want to work with you because you did not spend your dollars with them. So, for example, in the hotel industry, right now, most national chains are offering to work with travelers. So even if you booked a non-refundable hotel reservation, say for spring break and Easter, you can actually go to that hotel provider, and even if that reservation was non-refundable, they're willing to work with travelers to either give you a credit for future use or to deposit the value of your original purchase into a travel bank or give you frequent traveler points. So there's a lot of creative ways that the travel industry wants to support consumers during this time.
I'm getting some feedback that I'm getting feedback on my audio. So if I sound really bad, I apologize. I know you have a lot of information to give, so I'm going to try not to talk too much because I think your sound is fine. But Wingate is asking if you know what's considered essential travel.
I'm sorry? Oh, what is considered essential travel? Right now, essential travel is really deemed the travel that's necessary in order to, well, first of all, when it comes to travel period, the most important thing is we have to abide by whatever those travel restrictions are that are in place by the government. So regardless of what that essential travel need might be, if Florida says you can't come in, you can't come in. Or if they allow you to come in, many states are requiring a 14-day quarantine. So, for example, right now here in California, we do not currently have a travel restriction in place. So people can come here. However, it is advised that people who are coming from high-impact areas do quarantine themselves upon arrival, just to make sure that they're not bringing in, the virus from other places. So,
and you, again, I apologize for audio. You also do virtual events you were talking about. So what, can you talk about some of that you finished with?
So with the events, again, we're seeing a lot of people postpone. We as in the events industry, we don't want to cancel because, like I said, life is not canceled. We're just hitting the pause button in a lot of different ways. However, as business owners, now is an excellent time to really focus on connecting with your clients or your guests, whatever your industry might be. There are so many cool ways that you can continue to connect and engage with the people that you miss. For example, if you are a personal trainer and you have a regular group of people who attend your classes, that's a particular community that you're probably missing. So there's no reason why you can't bring those people online, and there's a number of different platforms that you can explore. And either do a live exercise program or do a group check-in. You know, how is everybody staying positive? How are you staying active, sharing ideas and giving each other feedback? So there's a number of ways that you can continue to support each other. Also, if you are an expert in your field, this is an excellent time to share information and really position yourself as that expert, whether it's through an interactive portion or session, or whether it's something that you pre-record, whatever your comfort level may be. So there's so many different ways out there that you can continue to connect and grow your brand and interact with your consumer base.
So, Yvonne, I know that you also do some really great types of retreats and everything. Am I able to talk about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
So since shifting from my corporate background, I've actually found a beautiful home in the cannabis industry. And this is a very, very pivotal time for the cannabis industry because cannabis has actually been deemed by the state of California to be an essential business, which is a landmark opportunity. So one of the things that I spend a great deal of time doing is supporting cannabis tourism. One of the groups that I have the pleasure of working with is called the Glowing Goddess Getaway, and it is a women's wellness cannabis retreat where we gather together and we use cannabis as a spiritual tool to connect deeper to ourselves and with each other. And we go home having filled our cup, having placed self-care first, and maybe having made a new friend or two, which is pretty amazing. I also have the pleasure of being involved with the California Cannabis Tourism Association, which right now is also doing very important advocacy work to position the cannabis industry to be able to help move the California economy forward once this pause is over, especially being deemed an essential business. There is so much opportunity there right now, just to be able to educate and offer people the opportunity to explore the wellness benefits of CBD, THC, and everything in between.
Well, I think that's a really unique retreat. That's why I wanted to touch on it a little bit. Again, I don't know if I'm sounding weird or not. So if there's anything that I'm not able to ask you, I know we had some talking points you were going to go over. I want to make sure you have the opportunity to make those points because you have such great information for everybody.
Oh, thank you, Brandee. I appreciate that. I guess the most important thing that, I'd like to leave with our business owners is that, as you've been hearing, now is such a great time just to really hone in on your business. Brandee's done such a great job with the Masterminds group and challenging us to think in different ways and to connect in different ways. So I'm very appreciative because, real talk, some days, I feel super inspired and some days are a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So, just being able to continue to lift each other up, to share the gifts that we have. We just have to remember that we truly are all in this together. So thank you so much for letting me chat with everyone. Great to chat with you, Brandee.
You as well, and I want to have you back on here when I'm not having technical difficulties because I have other questions to ask you. I just don't know where my sound is right now. And but thank you so much. I know that a lot of us are looking to travel, and I know that you are a great resource for that. How can people reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram. I'm Yvonne_LCA Travel. Or on Facebook, Yvonne DeBow Brown, or you can also find my business page, Yvonne Brown LCA Travel. I would love to connect with you. Again, I am happy to consult with you regarding your travel, or if you are a business owner wanting to explore ways that you can connect with your consumer base. I'd love to consult and chat about that. I have lots of ideas that would be my pleasure to share.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. I look forward to speaking with you again soon and definitely find you. I know you have a business page, right?
Yes. You know what? I will post that in the comments because it's rather a mouthful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. I do have a great website that also has a consumer do-it-yourself travel booking tool. So if you are going to be, oh, we have a friend here.
Yay!
If you are going to be looking at booking some travel for the fall, I do invite you to definitely do some price comparison on my my website because it is very user-friendly. So I'll post that in the comments as well.
Beautiful. Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Brandee. Bye.
Bye-bye.